Hello, I'm Joel from Better Music, and I'm here today with James from our drum department. Jimmy, how you going?
Good, thanks. How you going, Joel?
Good, thank you. Now, it's quite early here on the shop floor at Better Music. We're here before everyone else has arrived, but we're here because we really want to show you this. It's the brand new V-drum kit from Roland. It's their mid-level kit. It's the Roland TD-25. Okay, so Jimmy's going to take us through a few features on this drum kit in a second, but I'm going to give an overview of the TD-25. Now, the TD-25 is the replacement for the outgoing TD-15 model, and at the time of making this video, the TD-11 kits are below this one in the range, and the TD-30 kits are above it. Like those kits, there is a K and a KV version of the TD-25. We've got the TD-25 KV here, and it comes with the extra crash cymbal, which I hope you can see there on the camera angle, and with these larger tom pads on the KV. Apart from that, the two versions are identical. One of the things that's different about the TD-25 compared to the TD-15 is that both the K and KV versions of the TD-25 come with Roland's VH11 V-hihat. So that's the rubber hi-hat cymbal which mounts to a conventional hi-hat stand, which we think is a pretty good feature because it tends to make hi-hat playing just a little bit more realistic. Okay, so all of that leads us to the real headline on this drum kit, and if you don't hear anything else in this video, then just hear this little bit. Okay, for the first time ever on the mid-range kit in the V-drums lineup, Roland has included the same type of sound processing chip in the TD-25 as is available in the flagship TD-30. So what that means is that the way that drum and cymbal sounds are generated on this kit is exactly the same as the way drum and cymbal sounds are generated on the top of the range kit. So you get, flagship type performance and realism in a kit that is going to sell for about half the price of the TD-30. Okay, so we want to just take a moment to talk about the sound engine which is in the TD-25, and there's really two things to note on that. The first one is that the way the sound engine works inside this module is that it's generating a new and unique sound with every stroke that James plays on the kit. So normally what you would have is one sample which is triggered either louder or softer as you play louder or softer. Now what's happening here is that the brain or the module is generating a new and unique sound with every stroke. So what that means is that you get more realism and a bit more expressiveness in the playing of the kit. So if we just play a snare drum roll, what's actually happening there is that there's really tiny, subtle little differences in each stroke, just as it would be on an acoustic snare drum, which just enhances the realism of the sounds. And it just avoids that kind of machine gunny sound when you have the same sample being triggered over and over. So maybe just if we just play a paradiddle on the snare drum, something like that. So you can hear all those variations, the rim strokes with the extra ring in the sound, and all the different variations of those quieter ghost notes. The second thing that is new to the mid-range level on this TD-25 is positional sensing on all the pads. So just as on an acoustic drum kit, the sound of the drum changes whether you hit dead center or out at the edge. You get that on all of the drum pads on the TD-25. So if we just pick out this tom-tom and we hit it dead center, we get lots of stick attack and we get a really meaty kind of a sound. If we go out to the side, we get obviously less volume, but we just get a bit less body to the sound. So if we just start in the middle and move out. Yeah, so you can hear that there. The volume really drops away out at the edge of the pad, just as it would if you were hitting an acoustic tom, acoustic snare drum, etc.
So I'm going to show you how you use the recording function that you can export to USB. All you need to do is enable it by hitting the record button and then play your groove. Stop it, then go back into play. And then all you need to do is hit export and execute. That's going to go dump it on your USB stick as a WAV file, which is an audio file, not a MIDI file.
Okay, so James has just demonstrated the recording feature to USB. Now, obviously, we were thinking the other day that that would be a really useful feature for drum teachers, because you could record a drum lesson and dump it out onto a USB stick for a student so that they could take it with them, so they would know and remember what to practice each week. The USB works also for playback, so you can have MP3 recordings which you can play along to from the USB stick. And of course, anything you record and dump out in WAV audio format, you can then use in recording software of your choice, or you could load it into a sample pad for later use, something like the SPD-SX. So that is a very useful feature. It's got two separate trigger inputs. Now we're using one of those for the extra crash cymbal on the KV version here, but there is one more spare. So that means you could use either an extra pad. If you wanted to put a fourth tom on this kit, you could. If you wanted to use a BT1, a bar trigger for cowbell sounds or for whatever else you might want to do, you can do that. Or you could even put an acoustic drum trigger on a snare drum or something like that, so that you can create a hybrid acoustic electric kit, and that would work really well on that trigger input, that spare trigger input on the TD-25. So, you know, plenty of connectivity for just about everything that you'd want to do with this kit. Okay, so there it is, the brand new Roland TD-25, the new mid-range V-drums kit. We hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, and if you'd like to see more, then please subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to find out more about this drum kit, you can check out our website. You can also read our blog. We'll include the links below. And as always, we want to hear from you about what you think about this drum kit, so please leave your comments, and we do like to make an effort to try to respond to each of your comments. So Jimmy, thank you very much.
Thanks, Joel.
And thanks for watching.